What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in. This is the part 2 to the fixer-upper series on the Brute Force 750. In my last video we fixed the rear axle, tie rods, yeah, and the muffler, and we put the stock muffler from the parts spoiler on. Now we have the snorkel kit. Where is it? There it is, the snorkel kit. A little things I did off camera. I fixed the radiator fan because the previous owner tied the radiator fan to this switch right here, and the way they did it was very dumb. So this is the plug for it. Well, what they did was they left this end, but then on this end, no, they left this end, but on this end they just snipped that off and put 2 wires down in the plug, which those eventually corroded off because they got wet. So I went to the parts bike and I stole this end of the plug from it, and then I heat shrinked the wires together. So now we have a working radiator fan. Where's the switch? And it's sealed up nice, so don't have to worry about that shorting out on us in a mud hole. I got my little redneck exhaust shield going on here because when this thing gets hot, it burns your leg, so you definitely need that. I went to O'Reilly's and I got 2 exhaust adapters for the exhaust, because this pipe that goes into the muffler is an inch and 3/8, and the pipes that were on the HMF muffler were 1.5 inches. So I had to get 1.5 inches to 1 3/8 adapter. Exhaust still leaks a little bit right here on the back side of this, because when I was cutting this muffler off the other four-wheeler, I accidentally put a hole in the pipe. So, and the exhaust adapter isn't able to slide all the way up to, you know, meet that hole and cover it up all the way. So yeah, that's kind of just where we're at now. It's a minor exhaust leak though, it's not terrible. But other than that, I think that's the only other thing I've done. So now we can start putting the snorkel kit on. It's gonna be fairly straightforward. I mean, I think it looks like this bike has already been gutted. On a stock bike there'd be a bunch of plastic around here and everything that you'd have to just take off, but looks like the previous owner has already done that for me. Oh, and I went through and I dielectric greased all the plugs already, because all the plugs I could find anyway. Because I mean, there's a plug there, 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 plug, another plug there, 3 plugs here. Dielectric greased the fuse on the radiator fan that was installed by the previous owner. I didn't dielectric grease, no, I did dielectric grease the fuses, but I also put grease around the fuse cap just as an extra layer. Plug there, plug here, plug there, plug there, plugs everywhere. Okay, so just makes life a whole lot easier if you just go ahead and dielectric grease while you have the entire bike apart. I can't talk today. But so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on getting the snorkel kit installed, and I will pick you guys back up when I've made a little bit of progress. All right, guys, made a little bit of progress. Take you over here to the bike. So we got the CVT belt box. You can see the belt down in there. We got the belt box, snorkel, or not the snorkel, but the exhaust, factory exhaust breather off. We got the CVT's intake off, and we have the air box off right now because we're over here. We are siliconing off the drain plug, so that way no water can get up in here. I'm gonna let that sit and dry for a minute. Make sure, I just don't want to get any holes in it. But there's also silicone like on the inside too, because I filled it. You can't really see that. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but there's silicone down in there, so hopefully that won't leak. Now there is oil in the air box, but so I was having a little bit of issue. I didn't put this in the last video, but I had a little bit of issue with the bike burning oil. It was smoking pretty rough, and what I think the culprit is it's either a bad PCT valve or the oil's just overfilled. And the oil is overfilled because I just checked it. It's about, I'd say, 1/4 of an inch over the full line. So I mean, it's pretty, well, I'd say 1/8 of an inch over the fill line. So it's pretty full. I might be able to show you guys. I don't know if the lighting will pick it up or not, but. And the oil's like brand new too. So the guy that I bought it from just changed it. Like, see, it's all the way up to the H. And it's really only supposed to be up to the little line. Y'all probably can't see that very well, but so it is a tad over full. A tad. So we're gonna hope that that's the issue on why it's burning oil. For right now, to stop it from getting into the air intake, I'm just gonna see if I can figure out some sort of catch can for the breather valve, so that way I don't have to rehook it up to the air intake and get more oil in the air intake. So that's where I'm at right now. I'll keep you guys updated. All right, guys, made a lot of progress. I'm sorry I didn't film a lot of it, but we finally got the CVT boot on. That is probably the hardest thing to put on the entire snorkel kit. That thing was an absolute pain. I ended up having to heat it up with a heat gun to get it to flex a little bit more over this belt. That was a very, very much pain, but we still gotta do some fine tuning, getting all the risers to line up where they need to. I don't know, I don't think a lot of these wires are also where they need to be. I think there's some just tweaking that needs to go on, but we got a lot of it majorly done. Just gotta move this one closer up because it's hitting the shock where it's at right now. This one right here is the one I'm most scared about leaking, just because of the way this rubber boot is designed. I mean, it's tight. It's moving the bike before it actually moves in the boot, so I think it'll be okay. But it's just a little worrisome. But running out of time in this part right now. I'm about to have to go to work, so in the next video we'll run the vent lines, get the snorkels put on, and make sure everything's where it needs to be. So I will pick you guys back up tomorrow when I get all that done. All right, you guys, welcome back. It's the next day. I've kind of been working off camera for the last couple hours, just trying to get everything put together. Where is it? I got the collar trimmed out at the top of the plastics. That's where the snorkels are going to go through. This is what it's looking like right now. One thing that I'm noticing I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to trim this pipe back, because if you can't tell right now, the snorkels are looking pretty crooked. Yeah, so I'm going to have to trim this pipe back so that way this, will actually line up a little bit better. I'm running all the vent lines right now, but I've ran into a bit of an issue. They only gave me 3 of these things, and I need a little bit more than 3, because I've got 1, 2, 3 more vent lines to run. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. So I'm gonna run to town and then probably pick y'all up tomorrow when I grab those fitting connectors, and then we'll put these on, see if we can get everything put back together. I'm really tired, and these things have been busting up my knuckles, and it's really annoying. But other than that, it's coming along pretty well. So I'll pick you guys back up when I get these vent line connectors, and then we can start getting everything put back together. Good. Okay. What's up, guys? It's the next day. We're into the parts store. Got all the goodies that we shall need to finish this snorkel. I got some more heat shrink, but that's not really necessary. That's just because I need more heat shrink. Got some silicone, because this one's about dead. And where's the... Don't tell me I left the Tractor Supply bag inside. Well, crap, I guess I did. Okay, I'll be right back. I left one bag in the house. All right, got the other stuff. That's all those tools down there. Those are my remnants from having to fix a leaking pipe under the house. Nothing like taking your morning poop and hearing a hissing under you. It's great. I love it. Anyway, back on topic. So we went and got more of those barbed fittings for the vent lines, because They didn't send me but only 3 of them, and there's 6 vent lines on the 4-wheeler. Don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. So we got more. Now we can go ahead and start slapping them on. Go ahead and show y'all what I've got going on. I don't honestly remember what I've showed y'all so far, but got this one. This is the coolant hose, the coolant overflow hose. So that's there. Then this one right here is the one from the carburetor. The two from the carburetor right here. That one's done. And there was one more. And then, oh yeah, all these 4. So these 2 and these 2. This is one of the other barbed fittings they sent me. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start getting all of this put back together and then show y'all hopefully the finished product. Oh, I don't know, also don't know, remember if I updated y'all on this, but I shaved this pipe down a little bit because it was too long and it was pushing this rubber boot forward, which was making my snorkels, like, normally they'd be flush, but it was making them like go like that. So hopefully that has fixed our issue. It looks like it has. They're a little crooked still. I might shave it back just like another inch or so, maybe. But it looks good. So let me get all these vent lines done up and I will pick y'all back up after that. All right, guys. We got all the vent lines ran. I will say one thing, if you're gonna use this video as informational purposes, let me turn this fan off, Jesus. There we go. If you're gonna use this video for informational purposes, if you're planning on snorkeling your own brute force, the gas tank right here, I don't know how well you'll see this, but this is the vent line for the gas tank right here. And factory, it goes into the frame. It has just like a little boot. This thing right here, it just slips right into the frame. That is not gonna be watertight for one. And it actually runs through the frame all the way up to here. There's another hole in the frame where this little piece pops in. So what I did is I just took both of those out and I ran some vent line that I got in the snorkel kit, because you know it came with it. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do that anyway, but I don't think it said that in the instruction manual, because it doesn't really give you much instruction on how to vent your lines. But so that's what I did, and I definitely would highly recommend that over leaving it just in the frame for water to get in there. It's not a very good idea. But I still think there should be a radiator fan vent, but I'm not seeing one, unless that's it right there. No, that's just a bolt that holds it on. Huh. You would think there would be a vent line for the radiator fan, but I guess not. On my Honda there was a line for the vent line for the radiator fan, but oh well. So I think that's all the vent lines. We got the carburetor, we got the front diff, rear diff. The rear diff's brakes are built into the rear diff, so pretty sure that those are already vented off too. Let me look over here and just double check myself. Yeah, the rear brakes are built into the rear diff and they all are vented from the same line, so that's good. Front diff is vented. Brake lines, are these hydraulic? They are. Okay, the front brakes are hydraulic, just like the Honda. And it looks like, well, where's the vent line for these? Oh, they're disc brakes. That's why. There is no vent line. They're disc brakes. Awesome. Dude, I just love brute forces so much more. Oh, yeah, this was the piece for this part of the vent line that went in there. So chuck that. You don't need it. Run your own vent line. But that seems to be it. Now we're just gonna zip tie everything up, make it look good. Probably gonna trim this pipe back a little more because the snorkels are still a little crooked, and then we should be good. So I'll pick y'all back up when I start putting everything back together. All right, guys, we're getting the plastics put back on right now. It's coming along pretty well so far. I gotta get some grease. Any grease works. You don't have to use silicone based grease. You can just use any grease, because any grease is hydrophobic, so any grease will keep a good watertight seal on your air box. So I gotta grease the air box, And then I got some, it came with some heat tape in the kit, and it goes right here, right up against, because this is right next to your front cylinder. So this is kind of gonna be a hot area, so keep that taped up nice and good. You'll have to twist this pipe a little bit to get your key back in, but other than that, oh, let's not lose these. I kind of need all these screws. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy, honestly. So not too terrible. It's definitely a little more intricate than what I did when I snorkeled the Rancher, but it's not that bad. So we're gonna get this whole thing thrown back together, and yeah, it's gonna be rip time. Let's test it out, make sure it runs right. For information purposes, I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video, but it's a lot easier if you just take off all the plastics. I know some people are gonna be like, well, you don't have to do that, you can work around them. Yeah, you can, but that's very difficult. By that I mean, like, you don't have to completely detach them. You can just like detach a few screws so you can get the plastics to wiggle where you need it. Like, or you could take off only the side panels and leave your front panel. Take it all off. It's so easy because the front panel will detach with the side panels if you remove all of these fender screws, these three, this one, your rack, obviously, these fender screws, and these two, and that one, and this whole assembly will just pull right off. It's really easy to put back on too. It's like putting it on the exact same way you came off. Plus, you're gonna have to do some trimming anyway on your front plastic, so might as well just take it off anyway. That way you're not worrying about accidentally hitting some wires when you're doing some trimming. So if you're gonna use this video as informational, please take off all of your plastics. It will save you time in terms of running the snorkel, PVC pipe, and the vent lines. It's so much easier. Please, just do it. We went ahead and got the front face plates of the snorkel risers put on. I didn't put the pre-filters. They came with pre-filters. Right here. It's kind of like stuck to the paper because I had to use glue. You have to glue them on. They don't snap in. You glue them in. But they came with pre-filters. I didn't put them in simply because it was going to make it more difficult to snorkel. So, or more difficult to attach the face plates, because the face plates, there is no like real, I don't know the word. There's no real protection like anywhere for the, so you'd basically have to glue the pre-filter first and then glue the face plate to the pre-filter, which I didn't want to do. So I just put the face plates in and called it good. So I'm gonna finish getting this all these plastics put back on, and then get the top plastic collar on, put the snorkels on, and then we should be good to go rip. So I'll pick you guys back up when I have all that done. All right, guys, we got the foiler put back together and it looks good. I'm very pleased with how it came out. But let's take a look at it together. It's really hot out here, so sorry. I'm trying to like catch my breath right now. It's like 100 degrees, but there it is. That looks sick. The snorkels aren't exactly completely even, but it still looks pretty good to me. I'm pleased. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Awesome. So throw the GoPro on my helmet and we're gonna go for a little ride. I still have to fix the oil getting to the air box issue, but I think that's just because it's over full, so we'll take it nice and easy. Not gonna really romp on it, but all right. That is gonna be a successful video. Let's throw this GoPro on and get a little ride in. Alrighty, let's get her going. This thing's a little iffy to start on cold. Oh my God, the choke lever. I gotta play with the choke. There we go. like it's running good. It's not, doesn't sound like the carb's getting choked out. All 5 years to get up to 30 miles an hour. This thing gets up to 30 at like a quarter throttle. Oh, this thing is so fun. Still got a small exhaust leak, but not near as bad as it was. See if we got any water. Try not to mess up the windrows. It's been pretty dry here, but it rained a couple days ago, so there might be something. That's a big windrow. Uh-oh, we gonna be timing for that. There's a little. There's not nothing crazy. Dry in here. I used to rip around in this little thing. Ooh, she's slick, I'll tell you that much. These tires don't have much grab neither, and this bike is heavy. Oh, I hit in the face. Ah, this thing is throwing mud. Ew. Alright, that's enough of that. Making sure it's not smoking. I don't think so. I think that's just the hayfield. Yeah, that's just the hayfield that was putting up dust. Good God, this thing got muddy, and I went through 2 laps of a mud hole. This thing kicked mud. Ooh, handles those down nice. Guys, I'd say that is pretty successful video. The brute force is snorkeled. We will go test it out here on 4th of July. Maybe get a little bit of video action on that, but thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace out.